Puffy Combs' federal charges have little, if anything, to do with domestic abuse or pedophilia. His major sex crime federally is he's being accused of transporting women across state lines to engage in sex. What we call prostitution. Not Casey, not the freak-offs, not underage girls, but prostitution. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't support prostitution either. I do not support men paying for the sugar box. I do not support black women having to sexually exploit their sugar box in order to pay their bills.
So funny.
With that being said, prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth.
He always repeats
prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth.
3 times.
It is the sexual trafficking that Sean Puffy Combs is being accused of. Not domestic abuse, not freak-offs, not stomping out Cassie, not engaging in sex with underage women. It is interstate sexual trafficking. That is the charge. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up, peace God, because when I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence of Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, I have yet to hear anybody give me a specific piece of interstate sex trafficking evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it for the low political IQ Negroes. I'm going to say it for the average political IQ Negroes. And I'm going to say it for the high IQ Negroes. I haven't seen or heard a single piece of evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I ain't read it in the New York Times. I ain't read it in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I ain't heard it on CNN. I ain't seen it on headline news. Where is the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in interstate sex trafficking? I keep hearing about Cassie when I turn on the news. Why are we hearing about Cassie when Cassie has nothing to do with the federal indictment? I don't think any black man should have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I don't think any black man needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
We're gonna say the 3rd time.
But I haven't seen anywhere in federal law where owning 1,000 bottles of baby oil is a federal crime.
That goes the 3rd time.
Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far? Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far?
2.
Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now?
Oh my God.
Do you understand and overstand and understand
Number 2.
what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand, overstand, and understand
number 3.
what the premier Pan-Africanist on the planet is saying to you right now?
What are you saying?
Baby oil is not a federal crime.
True.
Stomping out Cassie, he was not charged with a crime. The freak-offs are not crimes. So why do we keep hearing about Cassie? Why do we keep hearing about baby oil? Why do we keep hearing about freak-offs? Where are the federal charges, and why are the charges being sealed? Why did the feds seal the charges against Sean Puffy Combs?
They do that all the time.
I'm going to tell you one reason why the feds sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs. One of the biggest reasons they sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs is because the evidence is probably weak. The evidence is probably weak. And because the evidence is probably weak, that he is guilty of interstate sex trafficking, and because the evidence is probably weak that he is guilty of interstate sex trafficking, they had to seal the charges.
Well, they do that all the time. But I think he has a good point. You know, it's like the court of public opinion nowadays, you know, you do this type of deal, and then everybody makes their mind up and have come to the conclusions about guilt or innocence or whatever based on some stuff they've seen on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. And, you know, the truth is we don't know. Okay. We don't know. We can't assume, you know, these things. We don't know unless you was there. You don't know. So, you know, I'm not trying to be defensive of Diddy. You know, there's been rumors about Diddy for years. But you know, how much of that stuff was actual like crimes or whatever? How much of that was, you know, these people were complicit, like they were going along with it? Because if they were, then that doesn't really necessarily make it a crime, depending on the circumstances. What I'm saying is, you know, we don't know. So public opinion of us trying to be judge and jury based on Facebook posts is not fair. So I think that's the point of what he's saying. And I saw some posts, 50 Cent was saying, you know, one of the reasons why Diddy is going through what he's doing. By the way, 50 Cent is about to drop a docu-series on Diddy. He's finna capitalize on this situation and make a bunch of money. He has done it over and over again. You know, the dude's a freaking genius when it comes to making money. Like, he jumps on stuff really quickly. I want to say Netflix has already picked up his deal. And, you know, whenever it's like a docu-series type of deal, you don't have to produce a lot of, like, you just go out and do interviews. It's low overhead, basically. And, you know, he's gonna make a killing off of it regardless of how much truth is in it or not or whatever. It doesn't even matter. People are going to watch it. The sooner it comes out, the better as far as making money. So yeah, I mean, he did the same thing with the BMF folks. Right after they got in trouble, boom, docu-series. Anyways, he said that Diddy was going through it related to his liquor and his liquor line, and he gave these people a hard time, basically. And that 50 Cent is saying that's part of the reason why this is happening now. And now that sounds like that makes sense. Oh man, I want to play this Shine clip because I didn't play it a minute ago, but I'm running out of time. I got to get out of here. Hold on. So much stuff I wanted to cover, so I guess I'm going to do a show tomorrow and make sure I get this other stuff. Because I got to go pick up my daughter. She texted me. No, maybe I'll play the Shine clip and then get up out of here. Oh, let's play this.
The indictment against Diddy, meaning they're telling us what they're charging him with. Now they've arrested him. That are missing. It's 14 pages long, and if you're on X, where we can post links, the link will be right below. Basically, they're charging him with guns, prostitution, drugs, and the whole racketeering thing. But they are not charging him with anything related to minors, anything related to video or sexual blackmail. And notably, Lucian Grange's name, the CEO of Universal Music Group that was in the original allegations, his name's nowhere to be found. We'll dig into some theories on all that in just a second, but first, some key points and a funny thing. They talk about the freak-offs, and they talk about raiding his home and finding supplies for the freak-offs. Notably, apparently in the raid of Diddy's home, they found more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Bro. They are clearly drawing from the Cassie lawsuit with statements like, these assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. I'm sure she's not the only witness they've got. These occasions included instances in which a victim was required to remain in hiding, sometimes for several days at a time, to recover from injuries Combs inflicted without being publicly observed. Cassie alleged that at one point it was more than a week, maybe multiple weeks, to heal from her injuries. It's a fucked up lawsuit. He's also charged with tampering with witnesses by bribing and intimidating them, including acts of violence, including kidnapping and arson, multiple counts of that. They also found 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers and a drum magazine, along with a ton of drugs and other stuff. They list out the specific drug compounds. And now here's the bigger picture. What they're actually doing to him is they're basically charging him with enough to put him away for good, theoretically. And they're seeking to forfeit any and all property, real and personal, involved and used in any of these crimes, as well as any property, stuff, profits derived from or proceeds obtained from any of these crimes.
I have to mention, they were saying that he moved, like, it's the cases are in New York, right? I want to say, and wherever the cases are, he moved there to fight the cases or whatever, and he voluntarily, submitted himself or whatever. So, that's not what Russell Simmons did. Russell Simmons went to a country that he can't be extradited from, and it makes me wonder, is Diddy just so gangster that he feels like, he's above all of it, or does he actually truly feel like he's innocent? He's going to be able to beat the case, and that, it doesn't really have much merit. Me, I don't have much faith in the law enforcement infrastructure that we have here in the United States, whether I was innocent or guilty. Either way, I wouldn't feel comfortable with the situation. I probably would have went with the Russell Simmons choice, just to be safe, because I know people that are innocent that went to jail and got locked up and didn't have anything to do with anything, and then there's also people that has done things and they've beaten it. So I don't know, why would he go and subject himself to this? I guess he's so gangster that he feels like, he could beat it. He does have some powerful friends. So,
including if he's gotten rid of anything, sold anything, or his ass.
Oh yeah, and the thing about the videotapes and stuff. So then, that's one of the hashtags that's going around is Diddy didn't kill himself, because he's locked up now. And, they say that he has videos of, powerful people doing things that are, shady or whatever, or embarrassing. And also, you've got the stuff about all of those presidents, CEOs, executives that are retiring, that are in that orbit, of the music industry or whatever like that. It could be nothing. It could just be coincidence, but that's a thing too.
Assets have diminished in value. They intend to take from him equal value to everything he's being charged with, regardless. They'll basically claw it back from him. It's worth noting that these charges are being brought in the Southern District of New York, which is notoriously corrupt, and it is the same district that brought the charges against Epstein, although they did put Epstein in jail, so I guess that's something going for them. So anyways, the pessimistic take here is that they're not charging him with any of the darkest and most important shit. They're letting all the other people off the hook. Lucian Grange is not named. There's no upwards charges. They're not going for the big conspiracy. No mention of sexual blackmail or the videotapes, the hidden cameras, any of that. That's kind of whack. The optimistic take, which is totally plausible. Liz Crokin has shared this take, and she's been on this longer than anyone, just about. Very possible, is that they're using this strategically in order to go after Diddy hard enough to make him squeal on the bigger fish involved, so they can start making more arrests and start going after the larger organization, because they are charging him with racketeering, and they do clearly lay out a criminal organization which he was a ringleader in. But that's where things stand right now. Personally, I am not optimistic that we're going to get what this case really deserves, and I am not optimistic that the big fish are actually going to get fried. I'd bet they're going to arrest a bunch of other people that you've never heard of, maybe a couple rappers, maybe a producer or two that were involved in this scheme and did horrible things and deserve to go to prison for the rest of their lives. But that they are not going to go up to people like Lucien, that they're not going to go towards the video blackmail angle, and that we're never going to see those tapes or hear about that blackmail ring. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it cracks wide open. But I don't think Jay-Z's worried too much right now. But he should be, because we're coming for him. We're coming for all of them. All lies will be exposed. They've released the
Yeah, so like if it was a situation where Diddy, if they did squeeze Diddy, and then he was like, I'm snitching on everybody. So, I could totally see Diddy doing that, and be like, bruh, such and such name, such and such and such and such. And I got evidence. Da 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 da. Because if they were gonna give him like some real time, and he's like, man, I got 5 kids, I'm not trying to be in here for the rest of my life or whatever. I'm snitching on everybody. I wouldn't blame him either. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If I was in that situation, too, man. I mean, it might put your life in danger, but hey, y'all know what y'all did. Says Homeland Security designates January 6, 2025 as a national special security event.